Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to explore something that many people notice, but few truly understand: why younger women can sometimes feel unexpectedly drawn to older men. Maybe it's the father of a friend, or a colleague's dad, or even just someone who carries himself with a calm, quiet confidence that stands in stark contrast to the chaos of youth. And for some women, this attraction might feel confusing. Why am I feeling this way? But the truth is, as women mature, so does their idea of what makes a man genuinely attractive. They begin to value emotional steadiness over impulsiveness, thoughtful conversation over constant chatter, and presence over performance. And it's in this emotional shift that older men begin to stand out. Not because they try harder, but because they've lived long enough to stop trying to be someone else. On the other side of that equation, many older men also find themselves drawn to younger women, but not just for superficial reasons. Often, it's about connection, vitality, and the chance to build something meaningful. But here's the challenge: even if the interest is mutual, many older men still wonder, what do younger women actually want in a partner like me? That's exactly what we're going to unpack in today's video. We'll look at the traits that naturally make older men more appealing, and we'll go even further, giving you clear, grounded strategies to help you not only understand this dynamic, but lean into it with quiet confidence. So if you've ever felt unsure about how to navigate age gap dating, or if you're just curious about what younger women really look for in an older partner, stay with me until the end. You might discover that the qualities you've been developing your whole life are exactly what make you magnetic today. Let's begin. Number 1, display maturity. There comes a point in a woman's life when emotional chaos and immaturity no longer hold appeal. What once seemed spontaneous or passionate now feels exhausting. Many women dating men their own age often find themselves slipping into the role of caretaker instead of partner, trying to compensate for the emotional delays in a man who still hasn't figured out how to stand on his own. The truth is, the male brain doesn't fully mature until around 42, and women sense that gap more than men realize. That's why a mature man, one who is self-directed, clear-headed, and emotionally composed, feels like a breath of fresh air. No coaxing, no hand-holding, no need to manage his moods or chase clarity. He's just solid, and that solidity creates safety. A man who doesn't need constant validation or nonstop messaging is quietly attractive. While younger men often confuse attention with connection, mature men know that presence means more than persistence. Excessive texting, especially in the early stages, can feel overwhelming to a woman who values her space and emotional balance. Mature men are comfortable with silence. They know when to check in and when to give her breathing room. It's not about disappearing. It's about being grounded enough to not seek constant reassurance. More importantly, maturity reveals itself in how a man communicates. Many women are tired of guessing games and vague intentions. A man who can clearly express what he thinks, how he feels, and what he wants eliminates confusion and builds trust. This kind of transparency feels rare and valuable. It helps her relax and stop bracing for the kind of emotional roller coasters she might have grown used to. Communication that is direct but respectful opens the door to deeper connection because it shows a level of emotional discipline many younger men haven't yet developed. There is something deeply appealing about a man who doesn't just react, but responds with thought, who doesn't try to impress with noise, but impresses with calm. Women notice when a man listens more than he speaks, chooses his words with care, and doesn't create unnecessary drama. These are the marks of someone who's lived enough to know what really matters. The benefits of emotional maturity stretch far beyond avoiding arguments. They lay the foundation for a steady relationship where mutual respect grows naturally. Misunderstandings are reduced not because everything is perfect, but because both people feel safe enough to be real. That kind of partnership can't be rushed or faked. It's earned through consistent emotional presence and clear direction. In a world full of noise, the man who brings clarity becomes unforgettable. Number 2, plan dates thoughtfully. In a world where time and attention are often scattered across distractions and surface-level interactions, the act of thoughtfully planning a date speaks volumes. For many women, especially those with maturity and emotional awareness, what truly captures their attention is not spontaneity for the sake of excitement, but intentionality that shows genuine interest. Younger men might spend their free time hanging out with friends or playing video games, often viewing dating as just another casual option in a list of weekend plans. But older men have a powerful opportunity to stand apart, not by doing more, but by doing things with meaning. A well-planned date is never just about the activity itself. It's about the message it carries. I thought about you. I considered what might bring you joy. I took time to create something we could share. A dinner at a cozy restaurant where she's never been, a visit to an art exhibit because she once mentioned loving sculpture, or a quiet walk along the water after a long week. These are not extravagant gestures. They are thoughtful ones. They reflect effort and foresight, two qualities that signal emotional investment. When a man takes the lead with a plan that shows he's paid attention to her interests, he reveals something rare: presence. In doing so, he creates space for emotional connection to unfold naturally. Women do not want to feel like an afterthought in someone's busy life. They want to feel chosen and valued. And while grand adventures can be thrilling, what truly impresses is when the experience has been crafted with care and intention. It's not about impressing her with how much was spent or how elaborate the plan is. What she remembers is how she felt when she walks away from a date feeling understood, appreciated, and emotionally safe. That's what lingers. That's what sets one man apart from the rest. The real romance isn't in the event. It's in the thought behind it. Men who embrace this level of thoughtfulness stand out not because they're louder or flashier, but because they quietly prove through action that they are emotionally mature and present. The effort behind the planning becomes the message: you matter enough for me to prepare something meaningful, and that, more than any spontaneous plan or casual hangout, is what captures her attention and earns her respect. Number 3, be clear about commitment. In relationships, clarity is not just appreciated, it's essential, especially when a man reaches a certain age. There's an expectation that he has done the emotional groundwork to understand what he wants. This perception isn't accidental. Older men are often seen as more grounded, more self-aware, and more ready to settle down. For many younger women who are looking beyond fleeting romance, that image carries weight. They are not just dating for company or passing time. They are often searching for something with a future, and when a man carries the emotional maturity of past long-term relationships or even a previous marriage, he communicates without saying a word that he understands commitment. That experience doesn't mark him as broken or hesitant. It marks him as seasoned. But this expectation also carries responsibility. If you're an older man who isn't looking to get married again or isn't sure what you want yet, the most respectful thing you can do is to say so from the very beginning. Being upfront isn't a rejection of connection. It's a sign of integrity. When intentions are unclear, women are left to guess. And when they guess wrong, disappointment isn't far behind. Saying I'm not looking for marriage again might close some doors, but it opens others with women who are on the same page. That honesty filters in the right kind of connection rather than leading someone into a story they didn't agree to. Misunderstandings in relationships rarely come from malice. They come from silence or half-truths that felt easier in the moment. But over time, the emotional cost builds. Disappointment grows where clarity could have prevented it. When a man is honest about where he stands from the start, he gives the woman in front of him a gift, the power to choose her own path knowingly. That kind of respect becomes the foundation for trust, even if the connection isn't meant to last forever. Women listen carefully to what a man says about his past and pay even closer attention to what he doesn't say about his future. If you've built a life that includes serious relationships, that experience becomes a quiet reassurance that you understand depth and partnership. But if that chapter is behind you, your words need to reflect it clearly. There is no shame in not wanting to remarry. The only mistake is letting someone believe otherwise. Commitment doesn't always mean marriage, but it always means being emotionally responsible, and for many women, the most attractive quality in an older man is his willingness to be transparent. Not because it's convenient, but because it's kind. Number 4, dress well to communicate confidence in the world of relationships. A man's appearance often speaks volumes before he utters a single word. This is especially true for older men whose style can naturally command attention and communicate an unspoken confidence. Dressing well is not about vanity, but about expressing a sense of power, maturity, and self-respect that resonates deeply with women. The way a man presents himself visually creates an immediate impression that sets the tone for every interaction. A well-chosen outfit becomes a subtle form of communication, announcing who he is and what he values. Shoes play a surprisingly important role in this silent language of style. Nice shoes do more than protect the feet. They reveal personality and an eye for detail. When a man invests in quality footwear, he signals that he cares about how he is perceived and respects the occasions he attends. This attention to detail does not go unnoticed, especially by women who often see the hands and feet as windows into character and lifestyle. Jeans remain a staple, but the fit matters immensely. Avoiding outdated cuts like boot cut and steering clear of overly tight, skinny jeans in favor of classic, comfortable fits keeps a look polished yet approachable. This balance between style and ease reflects a man who understands his image but is not consumed by it. Solid colored sweaters add a layer of sophistication that can soften the overall look, making it inviting rather than intimidating. They maintain a clean, sharp silhouette that speaks of someone who is put together without effort. A stylish watch is a small but powerful accessory that elevates the entire ensemble. Beyond telling time, a watch draws attention to the hands, an area women often notice subconsciously. It adds a touch of elegance and maturity that subtly enhances the wearer's presence. The watch becomes a symbol of reliability and timelessness, qualities that are magnetic and reassuring. Ultimately, dressing well is a tool older men wield to project confidence and maturity effortlessly. It is a way to honor oneself and others by putting thought into the image presented to the world. As the saying goes, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. For men navigating the complex dance of attraction, style is their silent yet compelling introduction that can open doors and hearts alike. Number 5, be approachable, not intimidating. In the delicate dance of attraction, men, especially older men, often face a unique challenge. Younger women may mistakenly believe they are either uninterested in them or too intimidating to approach. This assumption creates an invisible barrier before any interaction even begins. Yet breaking down this barrier is simpler than many imagine. The key lies in cultivating an aura of subtle approachability that invites connection rather than repels it. A warm, genuine smile can be transformative. Smiling frequently radiates an energy that is not only inviting, but contagious. It signals openness and kindness, silently telling her that you are someone she can feel comfortable around. Pairing this with intentional eye contact sends clear messages of interest and engagement. Looking her in the eye a few times before a conversation sparks intrigue without overwhelming. Maintaining eye contact during your interaction shows attentiveness and respect, validating her presence in a way words often cannot. Body language also speaks volumes, often louder than speech. Defensive postures such as crossed arms or rigid stances create an impression of unapproachability. Instead, a relaxed, open posture promotes a sense of emotional safety, making it easier for her to let down her guard. The way you carry yourself says much about your confidence and willingness to connect on a human level rather than intimidating from a distance. For many older men, stepping back into the dating world can feel daunting, but age should never be seen as a limitation. Confidence is the silent ally in creating the right impression and bridging perceived gaps. It is not about boasting or dominating, but about being authentically comfortable in your own skin. When a man is confident, yet approachable, he naturally dissolves the myths younger women might hold and opens the door to meaningful interactions. This balance of warmth, attentiveness, and open body language forms the foundation of approachability. It communicates a readiness for connection without pressure or pretense. As one wise saying goes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. In relationships, this truth is magnified because emotional safety and genuine interest pave the path for attraction to blossom. Embracing these subtle signs of openness can turn hesitation into curiosity and transform strangers into possibilities. Ultimately, being approachable is not about changing who you are, but highlighting the qualities that invite others in. By smiling, often making eye contact, and relaxing your posture, you create a magnetic presence that draws others closer rather than pushing them away. In the realm of dating and relationships, this skill is invaluable, especially when bridging the age gap. The men who master it find themselves not only more appealing, but more connected to the people they meet because they have learned that true attraction begins with approachability. Number 6, maintain emotional control. In the world of relationships, emotional control is not just a virtue, but a vital signal of maturity and stability that women, especially younger ones, instinctively seek. Emotional volatility often reflects youth and insecurity. Women drawn to stability find impulsive reactions and dramatic outbursts unsettling and unattractive. They desire a partner who can navigate life's uncertainties with calmness and measured response rather than impulsiveness. This is where the advantage of emotional discipline shines, especially for older men who have had the time and experience to develop inner balance. Age ideally brings with it the ability to remain composed in the face of challenges and setbacks. The power lies in mastering your own mind, not being controlled by external events. When a message goes unanswered for a while, or silence stretches longer than expected, the instinct to overreact or panic is strong, but must be resisted. Offering space with calm assurance instead of impatience sends a message of confidence and self-possession. It shows you are not easily rattled or dependent on immediate validation. Jealousy is another emotional trap to avoid, particularly in the early stages of getting to know someone. Trusting in your own value and security allows you to remain steady and prevents unnecessary drama. Women appreciate men who show they can handle uncertainties without spiraling into suspicion or neediness. Graceful responses to rejection or subtle tests of commitment further demonstrate a controlled temperament. Defensiveness or anger in these moments signals insecurity and weakness. The real benefit of emotional stability goes beyond just attracting a partner. It creates a foundation of trust and safety essential for any deep connection to flourish. It communicates that you are centered, secure, and unshakable. In a world full of chaos, unpredictability, and emotional turbulence. This quality becomes a rare beacon of strength. Women deeply crave a partner who can be their calm in the storm, who offers steadiness and resilience. Not just words. Mastering emotional control is not about suppressing feelings, but about choosing responses that reflect strength, wisdom, and respect for both yourself and her. It is the hallmark of a man who knows his worth and does not allow external fluctuations to define his state of mind. This quiet power is magnetic, drawing women toward a man who embodies not only maturity, but also a profound sense of inner peace. In this emotional mastery lies one of the most compelling secrets to lasting attraction and meaningful relationships. Number 7, lead without controlling in relationships. Many women yearn not for dominance, but for a steady guiding presence that inspires safety and trust. This kind of leadership comes not from control or authority, but from clarity of purpose and responsibility. The essence of leadership lies in action rather than argument, as one ancient wisdom reminds us. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. This principle translates directly into how a man navigates his role in a partnership. When a man leads with quiet confidence and intentionality, he creates an environment where a woman feels secure and valued rather than restricted or diminished. Leading without controlling means taking initiative while remaining deeply attuned to her desires and preferences. It is about proposing plans that honor both his vision and her voice. Providing structure rather than rigid rules allows the relationship to breathe and grow organically. Confidence in decisions conveys strength, but the ability to adapt when circumstances change demonstrates humility and respect. Women respond positively to men who embody this balance because it affirms their femininity and fosters relaxation instead of tension. A common pitfall lies in micromanaging or lecturing, which shifts the dynamic from attraction to power struggle. When leadership becomes about asserting authority, it stifles connections and breeds resistance. True leadership transcends ego and embraces responsibility for both oneself and the shared path. It is the kind of presence that does not demand compliance, but inspires partnership through integrity and consistency. This approach makes women feel safe, not because they are controlled, but because they are supported. Feeling secure in turn nurtures her confidence and openness, creating a cycle of mutual respect and deepening intimacy. The man who leads from inner clarity not only anchors the relationship, but invites a harmony where both partners can thrive authentically. In this way, leadership becomes an act of love expressed through responsibility, courage, and empathy rather than control. Understanding this dynamic unlocks a profound truth about connection. A woman is drawn not to force, but to the steady strength that carries her through uncertainty with grace and care. By embodying this kind of leadership, a man creates a sanctuary where attraction flourishes not from dominance, but from trust and genuine partnership. This is the art of leading in love, a delicate dance of guiding without gripping and holding, without restricting. Conclusion. Thank you so much for staying with me through this conversation. If you're still watching, it means you're genuinely interested in understanding the often overlooked truths behind attraction, connection, and emotional alignment between older men and younger women. And that curiosity, that willingness to look beneath the surface, is already a reflection of maturity and self-awareness. What we've explored today isn't about quick tricks or superficial tactics. It's about something deeper, the shift that naturally happens as women grow into themselves and begin to see relationships through a more intentional lens. Many young women today are no longer drawn only to excitement or appearances. They're seeking steadiness, emotional safety, and someone who can provide direction without domination. someone who listens, but also leads. That's where older men have a quiet but undeniable advantage. With age often comes a level of calm, patience, and decisiveness that younger men are still working to develop. Your life experiences, your ability to regulate emotions, your sense of inner direction. These are qualities that younger women may not even realize they're drawn to at first. But when they encounter them, something shifts. That sense of, why am I feeling this way? It is often the beginning of a very real attraction based on something deeper and more lasting. If you've ever doubted your relevance in today's dating world, let this be a reminder you don't need to chase trends or pretend to be someone you're not. Your maturity, presence, and clarity are more than enough if you're willing to show them. The way you communicate, the way you plan and follow through, the way you stay grounded in uncertainty. All of it sends a message that you're not here to play games. You're here to connect on a level that truly matters. And yes, the world of dating, especially age gap relationships, can come with challenges. There may be moments of doubt, assumptions from others, or even hesitation from within. But when you step into this space with confidence, honesty, and emotional steadiness, you create room for something authentic. And when you do that, the right kind of woman will not only notice you, she'll respect you, trust you, and feel safe enough to be fully herself around you. So, as you take these insights into your own life, I encourage you to do so with intention. This isn't about being perfect or fitting a mold. It's about showing up as the man you've worked so hard to become and trusting that the right connection will meet you there. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced this kind of shift in your own dating life? Are there particular qualities or moments you found especially important in building meaningful connections? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. I genuinely enjoy learning from the community here, and your story might just help someone else who's navigating the same path. And if this conversation gave you something to think about, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future discussions. We have so much more to uncover, and I'm truly grateful to have you on this journey. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and remember who you are already holds more value than you may realize.